Welcome back. Mark McAllister, Richard Southern, talking business now, the big business stories. Let's start with a topic that make many Canadians angry, and that, of course, is the grocery stores and the amount it costs.
Do you get angry going to the grocery store?
I don't know if I'm angry necessarily.
I am
but
sometimes.
You take it home with you. It stirs up.
It's costing that much for
Yes.
green beans? Well, we got earnings in from Metro, and they're doing okay. They're not hurting amid this high inflationary environment. They are noticing, though, Mark, some interesting consumer trends, notably that we are buying cheaper products, cheaper cuts of meat, apparently they're saying. We're also buying store label brands, and Metro, they like that. They make a higher margin on the store label brands, so they're okay with that. But it is reflective of the higher inflationary environment we're in. Metro sales did rise in the third quarter. Earnings grew to $275 million. The stock did fall today, though, Mark, as the company noted some ongoing cost pressures. Suppliers, it says, are continuing to ask for higher prices for their products to go in the store, and transportation and energy costs as well as labor costs are up. So it's interesting to watch the results out of the grocery sector because it really does show what's going on inflationary.
It's only natural for people to look for the cheaper foods,
Sure.
and as a result, people are looking at their own pocketbook, and the number of people declaring bankruptcy is also on the rise.
Up 15% here in Toronto proper on a year-over-year basis, Mark. We are seeing these insolvencies head higher. Experts say one of the big reasons is the fact that a lot of the government subsidies we saw over the pandemic, they're ending. The other part of the picture is the housing market. It's cooling off. When housing prices are high, bankruptcies typically stay low because people are able to fall back on the sale of their house to pay off debt if they need to. Not so much, perhaps, when the market cools off. Ontarians filed more than 8,800 personal bankruptcies in the second quarter. Again, that was up more than 15%. So some not so good news there, Mark.
A lot of talk through this pandemic about going back to work, and as of late, the hybrid model, so to speak. But there's a bit of a change happening as a result. Canadians not thrilled about going back to the office might start looking for new work.
Sure, or maybe people who did work in the office over the pandemic, they want to work from home. It's a pretty sweet deal, after all, Mark. And so the question is, what type of jobs should I look at if I do want to work at home? Job posting site Indeed says, bar none, it's white-collar type of jobs that offer this. 35% of software development and IT jobs listed right now offer the ability to work from home. Nearly 30% of marketing jobs also offer that option, as do 20% of jobs in legal services and banking. So those are the sectors you kind of want to look at. The work from home option isn't very prevalent overall, though. ZipRecruiter notes that only 13.5% of current Canadian jobs listings note the ability to work from home. But yes, the hybrid model catching on. Stats Canada, Mark, says currently about 7.5% of Canadians are splitting time between work and the office.
As always, Richard, thanks for doing this.
Good to see you, Mark.
Business editor, Richard Southern.